15th of December, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Let's do Amar Mar. Lokeach Sada B'Shem Reish Gulusa. Did we do that? We had the Tan Rabbanan, then we said Micah Amar, then we explained it. We have the Rashi, did the Rashi. Now now we're going to go to Amar Mar. The Gemara is now Amar Mar means that the Gemara is going to go back to a Tanaic statement that we already brought once, and now we're going to go into it in greater depth. And we're going to see what it has to tell us about the Bnei Marava. The ones that said what?
Thank you.
See, where's Amar?
It's on 102B5, left-hand column, second paragraph. The Gemara incorporates.
Right, thank you. I've got that now. Thanks.
Okay, so Roy, would you like to continue the reading? Amar Mar.
So did you say me or Luke? Did you?
Roy.
Okay, thank you. Omar, the master said, so it says here, in effect, the Baraisa just cited Halukayach Sodeh B'Shem Reish Gulusa Ein Kofin also Rashay Gulusa Limko. If one from his fellow in the name of the Reish Galusa, we do not force him, that is the Reish Galusa, to sell the field to the buyer. Mikolol de Mikrona Kania lay. Now this implies that the buyer did indeed acquire the field. I wanted to ask before, I assume that the buyer used Reish Galusa's name with Reish Galusa's permission, or he didn't?
No, it doesn't make a difference.
Beg your pardon? It doesn't make a difference?
No, the Gemara doesn't say it specifically that he acquired the that he spoke to the Reish Galusa. The Gemara doesn't say that, so we can conclude that it doesn't make a difference.
All right. Okay, so that's that bit.
Okay, so the Gemara is inferring over here that the lokeach that was dealing directly with the seller, the one that was dealing directly with the seller, right? The Reish Galusa is sitting in his mansion over there, wherever it is, that he's the Reish Galusa. He doesn't. He's not involved at all in this transaction over here. The two people that are speaking to one another are the seller of the field and the one that's coming to buy it. And so, even in the case where the buyer specifies to the seller that this field is, you should know that it's for the Rashi said, for the needs of the Reish Galusa. Rashi said that this field is l'tzorech Reish Galusa, and he lokcha. I'm buying this field for the for the needs of the Reish Galusa. So the Gemara is concluding over here, though, Mechlal the Mikna Kanya lay, that the field that was acquired by the buyer that dealt directly with the seller, even though the seller himself has heard that it's really for the Reish Galusa. So what comes out from this Bryce, from what the Gemara is saying, is that so what the Bryce is telling us is that even though that buyer is really he's the one that has acquired the field, nevertheless, it's not in the power of the Beis Din to force the Reish Galusa to write any documents that states that he's transferring the property to this lokeach. So Rashi, there's no Rashi over here yet. Let's see what the Gemara says further over here. Lema pliga de b'nei marava. Lou, you want to read over here? Lema pliga de b'nei marava.
There is a Rashi on this. We're not sure which this Rashi goes by.
I don't see where you are, Rabbi. I'd say Amar Mar.
That's what Roy just read. Roy just read Amar Mar.
Mishum. The next paragraph I see is Mishum.
No, the paragraph above that, Lema Pligi. But there was a Rashi on this Ein Kofi.
Lema.
You see the Rashi on there is a
Rashi.
It.
I see Lema Pligi.
Okay, but there is a Rashi before on that.
Yeah, we did that after you left yesterday.
Both Rashis, because there were two Rashis.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Go on. I looked it over.
Lema Pligi, Divrei Me'arava. Let us say that this disputes the people in the West. Da'amrei v'chi mi ho dio le'va'al chitin she yakneh he chitin le'va'al habayis. Who say, that is, that those people in the West say, but he notified the owner of the wheat to transfer the wheat to the homeowner.
What did he say? Did he say?
Damar v'chi mi ho dio leval chitin sheyakner chitin leval habayis. That they said, the one who notified the owner of the wheat that he should yakna. Yakna means that he should cause him to acquire.
Yeah.
The wheat by the Balamayas.
Okay, but the first two words are critical over here in this statement. The Bnei Marava said "V'chimi hodio." They are saying in a rhetorical question over here. They're not asking who was it. They're saying in a rhetorical way. Did the owner of the wheat was he informed? Was he in fact informed? The one who's selling the wheat that he should cause to acquire the chitin, he should cause to acquire that, meaning that he should sell it to the balabayas, meaning to say that according to the Bnei Marava, since the balabayas was not there in front of the seller of the wheat, and only the agent was there negotiating the sale, his lack of awareness of that, the owner of the wheat, would mean that the balabais would not acquire the wheat on that account, even though it was his own money that was being used. Because according to the Bnei Marava, the kavana of the mocher is to cause through the sale is so that the one the agent who is in front of him, who he's dealing with face to face, that he should be the one that he's causing him to acquire the wheat, and not the one who sent him, even though that one who sent him is the one whose money it is which is purchasing the wheat. Now, if so, the Gemora understands that what we're saying here in this brisa is contradicting the Bnei Marava, and the Bnei Marava are not going to be able to maintain their view if the brisa is against them, because the brisa is from the Tanoim, and the Bnei Marava presumably are Amoraim. So it's basically a kasha on the Bnei Marava from this brisa. Now,
I don't understand the contradiction.
okay, so the reason why we have to explain, I think, a little further, more fully, is what about this story with the Reish Galusa conflicts with what the Bnei Marava said? That's what we need to know. That's what we need to know. Why is it conflicting? Because on the face of it, you'll tell me that the Gemora just inferred that from this brisa with the Reish Galusa, the Gemora said that the implication is that the one that was dealing directly with the seller of the land, he's the one that acquires it. That's what the Bnei Marava said as well. So we have to understand why the Gemora feels that Lema Pligi the Bnei Marava. Why does the Gemora feel that this brisa that we've just quoted argues with and contradicts and challenges the Bnei Marava in what they said, that who told the owner and the seller of the wheat that he should cause the balabayas who gave the money, who he's not dealing with directly face to face, should acquire this wheat. See, I have a note here. It says in Cain, according to what the Bnei Marava have said, the Daitam, according to their view, Afkan Sorik Lios Hadin. Also, to here should be the din in the case of the Reish Galusa. She'ena Lokeach Kona as a karka. The Lokeach here should not really be the one who acquires this field over here. Afilu Shehu Bal Hamos, even though he's the one who is giving the money. Ella Haresh Galusa Yakne Esakarka. He should be the one. The Reish Galusa should be the one that the seller of the field is causing to acquire. Why? Sharia Lokeach Amalo. Because the Lokeach, meaning the ostensible buyer who is dealing directly with the owner of the field, Amalo, he told him, Shuhu Kona Avur Reish Galusa. He said specifically, openly, you should know that I am acquiring this field for the Reish Galusa. So what is the seller supposed to conclude from that? That the buyer really over here is the Reish Galusa. And according to that, what Bnei Marava say, his intention is going to control the deal. And according to them, the one that should acquire the property is the Reish Galusa, because that's the one that the Lokeach told the owner of the field that I'm really purchasing it for. I'm really like an agent for the Reish Galusa. I'm buying this for Reish Galusa, so he's really the one that is gonna that I'm buying it for. So therefore, the kavana of the seller of the field should be I'm selling this to the Reish Galusa, and yet the Gemora says that we can understand we understand from what the Brisa is telling us that really the owner of the field, the one who's made the acquisition, is not the Reish Galusa, but it's the person that he was dealing with directly, the one that gave him the money. So how do we understand the Tana of this Brisa? So we're saying that the Tana of this Brisa, the Tana Zeh Sober Kashitas Rabbi Yochanan Le'el. The Tana of the Brisa of Reish Galusa, he understands according to not according to the view of Bnei Marava, but according to the view that disagrees with Bnei Marava. Who disagreed with Bnei Marava? That was Rabbi Yochanan. That Rabbi Yochanan disagreed with the Bnei Marava. Remember, he said what he said, the Rabbi Yochanan, and the Bnei Marava made fun of him. And what does Rabbi Yochanan hold? Rabbi Yochanan holds B'sober shelo olam das hamocher lahaknos lebal amos ve'ein hashliach sorik lodioi sheyakne chitin lebal abayis. That's what Rabbi Yochanan holds. Rabbi Yochanan holds that the din is that the das of the mocher, the mindset of the seller of the field is to who is he going to cause to acquire? The balamos, the one whose money it is. I'm selling this field to the one who is giving me the money, meaning not the one who's giving me the money. I'll say that a little better. The one whose money it is. That's what Rabbi Yochanan holds. Whose money is being given over here? The Reish Galusa's money? No. I suspect that it seems to be, to me, clear from the Gemora that the Reish Galusa doesn't have a clue about this whole thing that's going on over here. He doesn't know a thing about it. Right? Rashi said the whole reason why this buyer mentioned name dropped. He dropped the name of the Reish Galusa was in order to scare the seller into making sure the seller doesn't pull a fast one on him, because I'm telling you, you're playing around with the Reish Galusa if you're going to play around with me. That's the reason why he mentioned the name of the Reish Galusa. The Reish Galusa doesn't know a thing about this.
Goes back to my question before, which is now answered differently. All right. So I have to rub out the.
That's what I said before. He didn't get any permission from the Reish Galusa. The Reish Galusa is not aware of this at all. Rashi says very clearly in Dibra Maskil Halokeach Soda Mechabero B'Shem Reish Galusa. Rashi says Niskaben Lahatil Ema Shelo Yotzu Aleha Asikin. There's a whole. That was the thinking of the buyer of this field. He wants to scare the seller into making sure he doesn't do any funny stuff with him. And he says, you should know that I'm buying this property for the Reish Galusa, right? But really, the Reish Galusa is not a player over here at all. The only one who's here is the Lokeach. It's the whose money is it that he's giving in order to buy the field? The Lokeach's money. And accordingly, we're understanding that this brisa is holding that the Lokeach is the one who's going to acquire this field, because the das of the mocher is to sell the field to the one whose money it is that he's accepting. In this case, it's being given by the person that owns the money too, which was not exactly the same scenario as the case of the sale of the wheat. In the case of the sale of the wheat, there was a split. There was the balamos, and then there was the shliach. The balamos, the one whose money it was, gave it to a second person and said, "I want you to negotiate the deal to make a profit for us, and here's the money." So when that agent goes to negotiate the sale of the wheat with the wheat seller, so the Bnei Rava, they said that they made fun of what Rabbi Yochanan said. Because they said who told the wheat merchant about the balabayas, so such that he should have intention selling the wheat, that he should cause the balabayas to acquire the wheat. So they held that he's got to have the seller has to have das to sell it to that balabayas, even though the money was the money of the balabayas. According to Rabbi Yochanan, he's certainly gonna the balabais is going to acquire, because it's his money. And here we see in the case of Bnei Merava that the Gemora is concluding that the one who really has made the acquisition in this property is the Lokeach, but not because he was the one that was dealing face to face with the seller. It's because it was his money. That's what Rabbi Yochanan holds. The seller, his intention when he sells it to the one whose money that the money belongs to. Whether he's there in front of the seller or whether he's not, it makes no difference.
But how are the people in the West expressing that fact, that concept? I don't see them saying that.
We're inferring that from the fact that they said this statement. Who told the seller of the wheat that he should sell it and cause to acquire the this wheat, the balabayas?
Right, but what does that have to do with the money?
We see from their statement. We see from their statement that that it doesn't depend upon whose money it is. It depends on them. They have to be informed to have the das to be makne to the one who is going to acquire the wheat. And since the agent, he didn't tell him that that you should know that I'm acquiring this wheat here as an agent of the balabais. He was.
So he did say that. He said, "I'm acquiring it for the Reish Galusa."
That's the other case.
I'm confused.
That's the other case. In that case, that's the even though he said I'm buying it for the Reish Galusa, right?
Right.
So according to that, the Bnei Marava, they would say that the one who owns the field is the Reish Galusa. But the Gemora says over here that the Gemora understands that this brisa says that the machlal the mikne kanyale that the lokeach was the one that the seller sold the property to. That's what we're understanding the Gemara to be saying. And therefore the Gemara says, if so then this brisa is a challenge, and it does not agree the view of Bnei Marava. So that's in a nutshell. I don't know how much of a nutshell that was. It was a pretty long-winded explanation, I must admit, but it's a bit complicated over here. We're dealing with these two different cases, and you got to know very clearly what's the facts of these two different cases, and what it is that Bnei Marava said about the case, and what the Gemora said about the case with the Reish Galusa. And by knowing those things, you can thereby conclude for yourself that this brisa is differing with the view of the Bnei Marava, and rather it is agreeing with the view of Rabbi Yochanan that the Bnei Marava were making fun of. That's the cheshbon over here. Rashi doesn't really explain to us, unfortunately, this cheshbon. So far as I see from what Rashi has said, maybe in the next Rashis we'll see it, but there's no Rashi on this section right here at this point. Any questions so far? That's what I would just add over here. Where did the Gemora see that this Brisa argues with B'nai Marava is because of what the Brisa says. The Brisa says that the Reish Galusa cannot be compelled to write a deed of sale to this lokeach, right? So that's what the language of the Brisa. What that really implies, if you think about it, is that the Brisa is saying that who's the owner of the field? The lokeach. Because why should the Reish Galusa give him a contract of sale to the property, unless he's the one who actually has acquired the property, and so the Gemara understands that the one who's really acquired the property is the one who gave the money, who's the one that dealt with the seller, but not because he dealt with the seller is the reason why the seller is giving him, causing him to acquire, but because it's his money. It wasn't the Reish Galusa's money. That's the bottom line that comes out from the Brisa. That's the view, and that view of the Brisa supports the view of Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan is the one who holds that the seller doesn't need to know about. He doesn't need to be told this or that about who's the one that he should have in mind to acquire the field. His das is to sell the field to the one whose money is purchasing the field, and in that case, the one whose money was being given for the field was this lokeach. There's no money over here from the Reish Galusa. So even though the lokeach said, you should know that I'm buying this property for the Reish Galusa. So according to that, the B'nai Marava should say the Reish Galusa is the one who owns the property. Well, if so, then why does the Brisa say that? The Reish Galusa cannot be forced to deed a sale contract to the lokeach. Of course, he's not required to do that. He's the one that owns the land. The lokeach doesn't own the land. But you see from the language of the Brisa that the lokeach is the one who's really made the acquisition. But nevertheless, the Reish Galusa cannot be forced to deed him a contract that to that effect. It says that he's the one who is being sold the land. So what you have here at the end of the day, according to this Brisa, is a very confusing and unusual situation. You have a contract which says that the seller is selling it to the Reish Galusa, but he's not the one that bought it. He's not the one that acquired it, because it goes according to the money. It does not go according to this contract. Goes according to the money. So the seller is selling it to the one whose money it is who bought the land. The Reish Galusa is not his money. Okay, that's what we got so far. So we'll continue with this B'ezras Hashem tomorrow, and we'll hopefully get it clear and clear. And
Tomorrow, Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday, so we're not. We're gonna. So I wish it was.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, right, I forgot. Wow, that week flew by today. Okay. Okay, so you'll have to remember this for Yom Rishon, B'ezras Hashem.
Right. Okay.
Yes, we are going to be basically learning on Hanukkah.
Okay. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Phil. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Alan. Bye, Roy.
Everybody, good Shabbos.
Bye, Lou.
Lou, 4 o'clock, right?